Good day, everybody. This is John Scarborough. I'm out here. I got Savannah filming for me, so it's kind of nice to have somebody film for you every now and then. I wanted to show you today our new brooder. We've brooded babies in a couple different ways, but I think this is going to be what we call semi-permanent. This is not a permanent fix for brooding babies. I don't think this is what we want to do 100%. We've talked about it in a couple videos, what we want to do in the long run. Hey, buddy. But we don't know for sure exactly what we want to do just yet. So we're going with kind of a temporary method. So I want to show y'all a little bit about what we've got right here. I've got the nephews here running around, so y'all bear with me on that. But what we've got, come over here closer, Savannah. Let's see what we've got here. This is supposed to be temporary. Now we'll use this all the time, but I built this to where these come down, these planks right here. If you look down right here, we've got individual panels that will actually detach right here. So this whole thing will come apart and fold together into about, if you'll take a look here, fold together into about 8 to 10 inch piece, okay? By of course 9 foot long. This is a 9 by 9 cube. We did it 9 by 9 because that's just happened to be the right size for the wood that we had. I believe it was 9 by 9, isn't that right, Savannah? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that just worked out pretty good. But what we're going to do is we made this to where it's foldable. That way we can easily fold this away, store it. Because right now we're only brooding about 200 babies, and then that may be it for the year. We may be done, so we'd like to fold this up. So we're going to actually put this under our lean-to over here. You can pan over here. We're cleaning it up and we're getting straightened up to put it over in here, guys. And we're going to have it under our lean-to. If you can just stay right here, Savannah. We're going to put it over here. And we'll show you that here in just a minute. But we're going to put it over in here. And this offers all the shade that they need from the sun. And we're also doing our brooding, since we're only doing it once this year, guys. We're going to do the brooding right at the perfect time of year, where you need birds, baby birds, to be a decent heat. They don't need to be like, you don't want like 103 degrees, but when you first get those birds, you want those birds to be, what is it, Savannah, like a 99 degrees, somewhere in there? The floor, I don't remember exactly what it is. I'll have to look that back up. Somebody in the comments, if y'all know, throw it in the comments, but I'll probably put it in the comment section. And I know it's pretty hot. So right at the tail end of summer is actually a good time to brood a bird. It's not a great time to raise a bird, but if you do it at the tail end, then now you're not having to put a lot of money into your heat lamps or anything like that. You can brood that bird. You still want good ventilation. You have to watch out for that. But you can brood that baby for the 3 or 4 weeks, and then if it's at the tail end of summer, now you start cooling down as they need it to cool down. It actually works out pretty good. So that's what we're going to have. We're going to have them under this lean-to. So this is a nice open concept. We used some scrap. This is all scrap. It's either scrap tin or scrap material of some kind. The only thing that's not scrap is our screws. We use new screws. But everything else will either scrap or sawmilled lumber, okay? But this whole thing is designed to break down into small pieces really easily. It's not hard at all to take care of at all. We used 6-foot piece of chain link fence. This works really good, I think. Now this is not going to keep a snake out, but we have not had an issue out of snakes. Now, I'm going to knock on some wood right now because we all know you could have issues. But so far, we haven't had a lot of issues out of snakes or anything. And I feel like that this is an open concept on the bottom. I feel like we're more likely to have problems underneath than we are on top. So, yes, it is a little dangerous. We have cats. So far, we're okay, and we're going to keep taking that chance for now. We do have plans for a really nice brooder one day, but we don't know how big we want that brooder. I don't want to build one for 200 babies and then turn out to be we don't need it that big. We put a lot of extra money and space and all like that. So that's why we're going with this temporary setup. This temporary setup is always going to be nice. Now, why do I feel comfortable with doing this? Well, we've had a couple of videos out on it. Me and Savannah did an 8x8 chicken tractor, just like this one you see over here turned over in the sun we're working on. It was an 8x8 chicken tractor, and we brooded babies in one just like that. And we haven't had any real problems. It wasn't great. We didn't love it. But we worked out the majority of the problems right here with this one right here. One of the big problems was the sun would come in from this side and it would shine in and hit them. Well, we're going to take care of that by moving them far enough back. In our lean-to, we don't have that issue. We've also put these sides all the way around it. That way, if we do brood birds during the cool season, because we still may do some brooding during the cool season, we've got this taken care of. But we've left our top open because that offers enough ventilation in our experience. As long as you've got a broad enough area, it seems to offer enough ventilation to not be that big of a problem. Now, I want to show you what we did for our door. This is what we're going to use. We had an old scrap piece of panel. This is a 2x4 opening for a panel. And this was just, it was a scrap junk bent up piece. I don't remember what happened to it. It got hit by a tractor or something and got all bent up. And now we're just going to use it for this. But we're going to tie this, just tie a wire, whatever, to the end there. And then that way we've got a nice full piece. This piece right here will come up and then lay all the way across, right across this door. And that way Savannah can get over here, open it up. We'll probably have a prop for her. She can prop it up. Now she can get in here and work. And we're going to start like this. When the birds are real small, we're going to have us a board right here. And we'll do a couple more videos out on it. If y'all have any suggestions, anything you want to see with this, be sure and let us know, because sometimes it's easy for us to think, we do this every day. We think they don't need to see that. But I've had people put stuff in the comments. It seems like something that somebody wants to see, and I would have never thought to make a video on that. So be sure, put a comment in there. That's something y'all want to see. What we're going to do is we're going to partition this off right here for when the first week, when they're little babies. And that way, Savannah can just take care of them right here with no problem, right there where the door is. Once they get a little older, they're going to need to spread out a little bit more. You open that up. Now you spread them out, let them have the whole thing. And they're going to be good to go from there. When they're real young, they need, the first week, they need more heat, they need more attention, and they really just need to be a little bit closer together. If they get real far out, I've seen people, they know that birds need a lot of space, and they think to themselves that they need that as a baby, okay? Let me explain something to you. There's a difference in what an animal needs as a baby versus what it needs as an adult. The first thing you want to think about, you always think about what happens in nature. Birds in nature, that mother bird will keep that baby close. They will keep them tucked in really close. I got the kids running around. It's distracting me, everybody. So y'all bear with me, but it's all good. That mother will keep those birds tucked in tight all the way around her. And that's to keep all those birds safe, but it's also to keep them warm, and it's to keep the stress of the bird down, okay? So, by keeping them close here, you're making it to where the babies don't spread out. So let me explain what happens. If you don't put that partition in, when you've got this much room, and Savannah can attest to this, she has seen this, they will spread out so much that you'll get a handful of them that will go way over there off to the side, and then sometimes they'll freeze to death because they don't come back. Now that's just in the first week.
Or suffocate.
Or suffocate, exactly. So it is better in that first week to keep your area just a little bit tighter, okay? And then once you get ready to close them up, then it's not so big. It's not as much of a big deal anymore. Then you can let them out, let them breathe. Now, we find this to be enough ventilation, like I said earlier, with just having this like this, and that's why we'll use this as ventilation. But let's say you do this in the cool months. It's not that hard to throw a sheet of tin over, to tarp this, whatever you want to do. Now that you've got a nice sturdy thing, I mean, this will hold a dog up. I can lay on this and use it as a hammock. It's all going to be pretty good here, okay? So this is kind of what we got in mind. I think this is a really good temporary setup. If you have a lean-to or building or something like this, it works pretty good. Like I said, this is for 200 babies, okay? You don't need anything near this elaborate. This is going to be right on the floor, right on the ground, and then we'll put shavings. If we do it in the cool months, you're going to have to add those shavings up to make up for that cold ground. In the summertime, it's not as important. You still want some shavings, because and Savannah will tell you this as well, the temperature difference is what will cause sickness more than anything. Is that not true, Savannah?
Yes. And so before you put your chicks in, which we can do a video on this later too, make sure you have those heat lamps on for even 24 hours and have you a heat gun. You know the difference. You know, well, that corner's not warm, but right here is way too warm.
Yeah.
Before you ever put them in.
And we actually did a video on this, a brief video. Y'all check that out. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's about babies. And we'll try to do some more videos, especially if that's something you want us to do. But get your heat lamp in there, get your ground even, get everything even. It's the change in temperature that's more of a problem. An animal can handle stress of cold or stress of hot. But when you do a baby up and down, up and down, and up and down, that's what really starts to get them, okay? We did have a situation at one point. We started to have a little bit of a situation where it was really hot during the day, but then it dropped way down cold at night, and we weren't able to keep our variables controlled enough. Daniel, let's wait till the video's over, okay, bud? Now, so we were not able to control those variables enough, so it became a problem, and we had to figure out how to control those variables. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that the up and down temperature is the problem. So during the winter, or during the cool season, you're going to want more shavings, because this is going to be a dirt bottom, okay? During the summertime, you can have a little bit less. I mean, probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches would be fine during the summertime, don't you think, Savannah? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't suggest just doing bare ground. I can't fully explain why or justify that, but birds like to have something. That's just how they are in nature. They like having something to roll around in. Worst case, just for comfort, okay? Like I said, I can't explain why. Maybe Savannah could tell you why. What do you think, Savannah? It just seems like the right thing to do to me.
Yeah, I think for babies, it has to do with their poop and ammonia and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. It helps to absorb a lot of that.
That's where I go, but just as babies, because they're so delicate, I guess.
Well, and it mimics a nest in nature, and that's the bottom line. But as we all know, carbon is a disease sink, okay? Carbon actually will absorb diseases, and they've actually done studies on this, that the more carbon is in one spot, the longer it will go, the problem will go before you have diseases. And that's one reason why carbon in your soil is so important, okay? Guys, I think that about wraps it up for here. Now, we are planning on doing a nipple drinker.
Like in our chicken tractors.
Just like we did in our chicken tractors. It's going to be, these are about, I think, 10 inches apart. That's going to be plenty. You're not going to need this many, but we've got it, so we're going to go ahead and use it. And we will make it adjustable. If y'all want to see a video on how to make it adjustable, let me know in the comments. We'll definitely do that. We're going to make it adjustable. It doesn't need a huge amount of adjustment because it's just babies and it's just for 4 weeks. But we're still going to have a little adjustment up and down, because the adjustment, what that does for you, it's not that you have to have it. It's that it gives you less water problems. Because if you get this line right here, so let's say the bird is tall, it's having to bend over, it's more likely to cause a leak. The same if it's having to reach up like this. It's going to hit it too much, you're going to get more water and more moisture on the ground. So the variability in height isn't necessary, but it is helpful as far as keeping your ground dry, keeping things good, and just overall keeping stuff where you want it to be. Because when that ground gets really, really wet, and then it's hot outside where you've got your heat lamps, that's also going to cause humidity and steam inside, possibly, maybe not steam, but definitely a level of humidity, which could cause problems. What do you think on that, Savannah?
Yes, everything you just said.
Yeah, okay. And now, Savannah raises the babies more than I do. Savannah deals with the chickens. We both do the chickens, but Savannah does the chickens more than I do. And that is something we don't talk about a lot. But I need to make sure to give her the credit for that, because she does more with the chickens than I do. And she actually ran her mother's chicken farm for
a year.
was it close to a year? I mean, I helped out quite a bit,
Yeah.
but that was her job. She actually ran that whole chicken farm, 120,000 birds there. You know, now we got away from that because we don't like that style of farming. Her mom and dad even got away from it, you know, but that's the experience. That's the background that she has. So it's not like we're coming to you with a background. I mean, this is an actual background. We understand how to do this. Okay. So guys, I hope that helps. This, like I said, I'm really excited about this because even when we finally get our brooder built exactly the way we want it, we're always going to have this. We're going to be able to break this down to different sizes, be able to move it around, whatever we want to do. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. This came out pretty good. We are gonna have, we got a couple places for heat lamps, and we've also got a good spot for some water lines and things like that. But I think I got it all. Trying to keep my bearings straight with people running around, but other than that, I think I'm good to go. If I missed anything, guys, let me know. Thanks, like, and subscribe.